Alright, so you guys are going to create your truss here. So I'm going to go through a quick tutorial of that so you remember. So I'm going to click New, Standard IPT, I'm going to hit Create. I'm going to go pretty fast here, just so you know. So I'm going to go Sketch. I'm going to sketch in the YZ plane. And first thing I'm going to do is bring in pretty much my base and my top. So I'm going to grab the rectangle here. Actually, I'm going to grab 2-point rectangle. And I'm going to draw out a triangle, and this is where I'm going to select a 1/4 inch piece, and then I'm going to make my triangle 16 inches long. Now remember, you don't have to be too concerned about the details of your triangle or of your truss. You can kind of just remember choose, your sizes. But I just want to talk to you guys as I do mine. So 1/4 inch, I'm going to go with I'll go with 10 inches up here. I'll switch it up a little bit. I'm going to dimension from the top to bottom of this truss. I'm going to make it 5 inches tall. And I'm going to line the centers up. Okay, so I'll have to do it this way. It should be 3 inches. Okay, so I've got a 10-inch 1/4 inch piece centered in a 16-inch piece at the bottom, using 1/4 inches for my top and bottom. That's what I would highly suggest, is go with your top and bottom first. I'm going to extrude these out, and I'm going to extrude both of these out at 1/8 of an inch. That's how thick those pieces are. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch this surface, and I'm going to project. Now what I want to do, and again up to you, is I'm going to create kind of platforms where I can place my top truss and my bottom truss. So I'm going to make a rectangle that pretty much goes all the way across, another 10 inches, 0.125. I'm going to do the same thing down here, and I'm going to the midpoint because that's 1/8 of an inch. Finish that sketch. I'm going to extrude, and this will be kind of another piece that I glue on, and I want the bottom there, and I'm going to actually run that at, I guess I could run it at an 1/8 inch. I could put an 1/8 inch in there, and these are things you can change too if you don't like the look of it. So I'm going to put an 1/8 inch there. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to find out how this looks. So now I can go here. Essentially, I'm going to have a 1/4 inch piece, 1/8 inch piece right now, and I'm going to start to place in my trusses. So I've got this 1/8 inch piece that's going to be laminated to this 1/4 inch piece right here. Next, I'm going to start my sketch. I'm going to sketch right here on that face. I'm going to project some of these faces, and I'm going to start putting in my webbing. So what I like to do is all of the vertical constraints, or any vertical pieces, I'm going to put in vertical pieces first, essentially. So I'm just going to draw a rectangle down, and I want this to be a 1/4 inch piece, and it's going to go between those two supports, and I want this to be, at least this piece, I want it to be centered. I'm going to project the center point here. There it is. Alright, it's being silly, so I'm just going to go from the side. I know that that's 16 inches, so that needs to be 8 to center it. So I'm going to have one centerpiece there. I'm going to have some other centerpieces in different places as well. I'm going to put one actually right here as well, from this corner down to here, and that'll be a 1/4 inch piece, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. Again, the look of my truss is going to be different than yours. Just kind of get the process. So I've got those end pieces. I'm going to go ahead and extrude each one of those at an 1/8 of an inch. Hit OK. So now I have my vertical pieces of my truss. Now I'm going to start to place in my actual pieces that are going to kind of create the webbing. So again, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to sketch on that inside surface, and I'm going to project pretty much most of my entire drawing, so I can use all the different corners. I'm going to show you easy ways to kind of get around some of this stuff. So first I'm going to create a piece that is going to go from this corner to that corner. I'm going to use the offset command, and I'm going to do another 1/4" piece going down. And you can hit F7 if you want, so you can kind of see where it's going, but you remember it's going to come up against there. So next I am going to draw a line that's going to be from here down, and I want to trim it off. So let's see here. I can try, it's a little bit easier at the bottom here. So go from here to here to here. Alright, so I just need to fix a line from here to here. I have that piece closed in. Go up here, I'm going to hit F7, and I'm going to trim this out. So I got a piece right there. So I'm going to finish that. Another 1/4" piece, I'm going to extrude that, and 1/8 of an inch for its thickness. So I have that end, and what I want to do is I want to take that and copy it over here. So I want to see if I have a mid plane. I have a plane right here. That's not necessarily a mid plane in my truss. So I'm going to create a mid plane between this face and this face, because it's a vertical member. You might have to do the ends if you don't have vertical members right in the center. And then I'm going to select the mirror component to place it over there. So when this happens, alright, so there was just a little error there that I had to fix with my centerpiece. I accidentally set it at 8 inches when I needed a minus half of the thickness there. So I go with that, and I have that side mirrored. So you can just do a midplane either from those ends as well if you want. Next, I'm going to sketch a new face. And this time I'm going to change it up a little. I'm going to make it different. When I grab the line command, I'm actually going to go from corner all the way to the corner down here. And then I'm going to click this line because it's in the center, and I want a piece to go down the center of this. This needs to be the center line. So I'm going to select that and actually make that a construction line. Then I'm going to grab offset, and again, this will be another 1/4" piece. So I want to offset 2 lines that are 0.125. Once I have those lines set up, I am going to kind of fill them in where intersections happen. So from here to here, there to there. And I'm just going to hit F7 to kind of check that it's working and trim out what I don't need. Grab the line command again. So from this intersection to this corner to that intersection, F7, and I can trim this out again. Alright, so I'll be able to finish the sketch. I can extrude this, 0.125, I can hit OK, and then I can mirror this piece right across that mirror plane that I just made, hit OK, and I have the basics of my truss. So again, basics of my truss that I'm going to be placing there, and which is nice is when I come and start to place in my top truss or my bottom truss, I have areas in which I can glue right to the top of it. You can see if I wanted to, I could have made these a little bit longer, and when I look at it, I actually think that I might, if I change that to a 1/4" piece, then they give me room all the way over here on the truss to put webbing, which I'll go over in the next video. So there's just a very simple video on creating your trusses. Start with any vertical members, cap it, use the mirror plane, or you create a mid plane here, mirror your components to take some work away from you, but always check to make sure your lines are correct. So every single time I was creating something, you can hit that F7 button to make sure you're lining up with your corners and trimming it out. Okay, there we go.